Netflix has downgraded them. Meghan's new show didn't even crack the top 300. As ever, still a mess. Harry's doing nothing but BS. And the year that was supposed to be theirs has spiraled into pure uncertainty. All the while, Meghan and Harry kept teasing big projects on the horizon.
So many exciting things on the slate. I can't wait until we can announce them. But
Meghan was even gloating about her Netflix deal less than a month ago.
About to onboard a CEO and a small team, to having Netflix as my partner goes very far beyond my ideas of, I can sell locally.
Only for reports to surface that Netflix bosses were mildly infuriated by her. It's bad news for them, but great comedy for the rest of us. At what point do they realize that lying and being hypocritical in the public eye of all places almost always blows up in your face? And guess what? It did. Now, Harry and Meghan are in deep trouble, and there are two words we can't ignore anymore when it comes to them: divorce and bankruptcy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Angela here, and if there's one thing I teach in this school of scandal, it's that we can always learn from celebrities on what not to do. And right now, it seems like Meghan and Harry are giving a masterclass on how to do everything wrong. By the way, something's brewing behind the scenes, and let's just say the School of Scandal might be enrolling soon. More info to come. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for new videos every week. Put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video. Check out our Harry and Meghan playlist for more scandalous tea about these two unofficial comedians. And follow us on our social media. We made a new Instagram called The Scandalous Media, so be sure to check it out. And while you're already scrolling around, ever thought about turning your gaming time into real money? Let me show you how. Before we jump in today's video, I want to share a super easy way to earn extra cash thanks to our sponsor, Free Cash. Instead of just passing the time on your phone, you could be getting paid for it. Whether you're on a trip, relaxing at home, or just killing a few minutes, you could actually be making money on the side. Free Cash is a completely free platform where people all over the world can sign up and earn real money by playing mobile games in all sorts of categories. It's one of the top reward sites out there with a 4.8 star rating on Trustpilot. Once you sign up, you'll see offers to play games, try apps, hit goals, and then watch the rewards add up. I'm playing Animals and Coins and Merge In, and the payouts rack up fast. Turn on app tracking before you start so Free Cash can follow your progress and make sure you get rewarded. Here's my progress so far. I earned $5 just for downloading and starting a game, and yes, you can do this while watching TV, commuting, or traveling. I even made a couple of small in-app purchases to speed things up, and Free Cash gave me a cashback as a bonus reward. There are also extra bonuses if you reach certain levels within a time limit. When you're ready to cash out, it's super quick. I'm withdrawing via PayPal. Just keep in mind your first withdrawal has to be at least $20, but after that, there is no minimum. The more you play, the more offers you unlock. You can start earning today by clicking the link in the description box or scanning the QR code on the screen. You'll get a $5 bonus on the first offer you start. Your interface might look a little different depending on your country, but it all works the same. Thanks again to Free Cash for sponsoring this video. They might come in handy because Meghan and Harry are gonna need some cash now that Netflix is no longer betting big on them. Bye Netflix. Even Netflix got tired of them. I had originally recorded this video before Netflix signed a new deal with them that essentially gave them a second chance, but this time with them being on a timeout. They downgraded their deal, adding new restrictions after what everyone is calling repeated flops. The new deal's way looser than before, and Netflix gets first say on what projects go ahead. According to sources, it's definitely a lot less money for them than their old deal. Why? Because once given a chance, they couldn't prove themselves. I still think Netflix is foolish for even giving them another chance. However, I think that this new deal is because Netflix lost a lot of money and time with them. So they're doing this to make up for that because the statement went on and on about their new projects like their adaptation of the novel Meet Me at the Lake, and in this time frame, all those projects that they're now saying is coming should have already dropped. They also dropped the trailer for season 2 of With Love Meghan, but as I'll describe later in this video, this is all a marketing ploy to make it seem like more than it is, because as we already know, they filmed season 1 and season 2 simultaneously, and just broke it up into 2 parts. However, there will also be a holiday special this time around, as well as some other documentaries, one being about Uganda. As we can see, they are running out of things and truly milking it to the bone. Anyway, the rest of the video was recorded before these new updates, so keep that in mind. You know how bad it is for you to fumble a $100 million deal? I mean, it was apparently never that much, just the budget that was given, but it made one thing clear. Harry and Meghan can never cry, "Oh, no one gave us a chance," because everyone did. They gave them tens of millions of dollars worth of chances only to get dragged through the mud in return. I'm not going to go through all their flops and fails because you can check out my 5 years of failure video that I've done on them, so today we'll just be adding on. When the numbers came out for With Love Meghan, oh, it was just abysmal. She couldn't even crack the top 300. We're not talking about the top 100 or 200, but not even the top 300. It almost fell out of the top 400, ranking in at place 383rd with just 5.3 million views from January to June. Yet Meghan had the audacity to sit there on the Emma Grede podcast and act like she was holier than thou with As Ever, daring to compare herself to Bridgerton and Stranger Things.
Where things were different with me, of course, is that it wasn't a brand that was established. It was my ideation. We're developing it as we're going. And so I think, as you know, in building brands, it doesn't happen overnight. It can't happen overnight. I guess the difference was with me is that so much of that work that can typically be done behind the scenes for most founders, there's just so much curiosity that you are
building the plane while and flying it at the same time.
For context, since narcissists only view things through an analytical lens, Stranger Things' first 91 days of viewing for season 4 reached 140.7 million views. Stranger Things alone has surpassed 1 billion hours of viewing. Season 3 of Bridgerton scored over 45 million views in its opening weekend alone. With Love Meghan came in at a similar ranking to Peaky Blinders, a show that was released 12 years ago. But Meghan will sit there and pretend to tell you a different story, and act like Netflix took on As Ever as if they were not twitching, waiting for her to come up with something, anything. Scammers like Meghan will talk a big game, but when it's time to deliver, they genuinely can't. Look at what she said in November 2023 when asked about the types of projects she's going to put out.
Things that make people feel, I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right?
So not only did she proceed to release With Love Meghan, a show reduced to just a feel-good cooking show knockoff, so the opposite of what she was going with there and since the day she and Harry announced their partnership, which was to make impactful and meaningful projects. But yet she proceeds to claim she had so many things lined up, only to yet again not follow through on anything. Where are the documentaries, docu-series, feature films, scripted shows, and children's programming exclusively made for Netflix? They had said in 2020 that,
through our work with diverse communities and their environments to shining a light on people and causes around the world, our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope.
But we have so many exciting things on the slate. I can't wait until we can announce them.
well, where are they? Since that video, she proceeded to launch American Riviera Orchard, pretend to be a royal in Nigeria and Colombia doing God knows what, scrap American Riviera Orchard, announce With Love Meghan, delay the release of With Love Meghan, announce As Ever, and then debut With Love Meghan. You genuinely cannot make that up because that's exactly how the timeline went. And don't even get me started on the As Ever mess because I made a whole video about that, which you can go check out.
I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too.
My husband is loving it too? Your husband has been reduced to nothing besides an errand boy, making a fool out of himself in the UK courts while burning through whatever money he has left, burying both of you in legal fees. But let me guess. Harry will probably use his inheritance to pay for that while Meghan soaks in whatever money she's making from her brand, one that she has conveniently erased Harry from. It's almost as if everyone called this out as soon as they got married. It's almost as if William warned Harry of this exact thing happening to him. Watch how she stumbles on her words when met with the idea of making those announcements.
Here anytime you want to make those announcements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll get in touch then, yeah.
We'll get in touch then?
What the heck does that mean?
All they've produced for Netflix was Harry and Meghan, the only, I guess, successful thing, because it relied heavily on exposing the royal family. Then Harry got his chance, releasing his vanity project Polo, which only got 500,000 views, coming in at number 3,436th place. I mean, I've had videos get more views than that. They had executive produced Live to Lead and Heart of Invictus, but as I've always said, I'm pretty sure only 12 people tuned in to watch that, and I don't even think Harry or Meghan were part of that number because they probably can't even stomach their own BS, and yet they forced the rest of us to. According to The Sun, the contract won't be renewed when it expires this September as Netflix reportedly feels they've got all they can from them. Insiders say Netflix bosses were mildly infuriated by Meghan's shift in focus to her As Ever lifestyle brand, which, let's be honest, only took priority because she didn't know how to produce anything worthwhile. It was all a scam, a last-minute scramble she's now trying to pass off as some childhood dream. Seriously, that's what she claimed in her show. As if this entire thing was born from a vision board she made when she was 6. Meanwhile, she basically copped out of her actual job. You can tell that she's spearheading her marketing campaign right now because all she's doing is promoting things by dangling her feet from above. I mean, this is a painfully millennial commercial, and there's nothing wrong with being a millennial, but when you're trying to sell the idea that you represent something timeless or universally better, at least make it convincing. Here's another promotional shot of Meghan's feet with, a basket of oranges in the corner? Oh no, someone hire her at Vogue, she's just too good.
Wow.
A streaming source described Meghan's show as well-lit but flat, while another added that they're not natural content creators, they're trying to be what they think the public wants rather than being authentic. What does this show us and everyone in Hollywood? She's highly unreliable and unprofessional. We also saw this with Spotify when they didn't know what they were doing and Spotify had to pitch ideas for them. As for Harry, the best they could do was a hot chocolate review podcast. Clearly, that never made it off the drawing board. This is a huge revenue loss, especially for Harry, and just to twist the knife a little more, Netflix just signed a fresh deal with King Charles and Idris Elba. Ouch. The source said that the content got weaker from there on, but frankly, for $20 million a year, anything was better than nothing. There's no animosity from either side. Nah, I'm pretty sure Netflix is angry. No one's boss will ever look at a scam like this and be like, well, at least anything was better than nothing. If they weren't blacklisted then, they are now. And yet the source claims that Paramount Plus was thought to be keen to work with Harry and Meghan, who would be open to it if the right project came along. Not only could they not produce anything to begin with, but they couldn't bring in the numbers either. Interestingly enough, when People magazine reported on that same story, they conveniently left out the part where Netflix bosses were infuriated with them and instead tried to paint a much bigger, softer picture. They claimed that just because the deal wasn't renewed doesn't mean there won't be future collaborations, and that in fact, Meghan's second season of With Love Meghan is set to premiere this fall. I guess Meghan leaked the news to People magazine beforehand because how else did they know about the future collabs part? They're doing what Meghan did on the Emma Grede podcast. Try to pretend that this is all working out in her favor. Meanwhile, season 2 was already filmed alongside season 1. They're just milking it for crumbs, trying to stretch the scam they were handed by squeezing out any tiny drop of profit they can find. Radar Online reports that multiple industry insiders said that Netflix has no appetite for renewing their contract and that the dream has fizzled out due to underwhelming viewer data and fading public interest. One source said she had everything going for her, name, platform, and publicity, but the viewing numbers for the show were dismal. This deal is dead. A Netflix source said there was initial curiosity about them, but that's evaporated. They have gone from buzzy to background noise. Apparently, the second season was just a courtesy gesture to wrap up existing obligations. Sources say the platform now has zero interest in pursuing further projects with her or Harry. And now with the updated news that there is a new deal but with more restrictions, this only confirms to me that Meghan and Harry basically have a debt to pay back to Netflix. And one insider said, they're just waiting for the credits to roll on this unfortunate chapter. Bosses see commissioning any more content from this pair as a total waste of money. Consequences of your actions. When are they going to divorce? Are they ever going to divorce? What's going to happen if they divorce? These are all the questions you guys have been asking me and asking in general, so let's talk about it. From what I've heard from my sources, Meghan and Harry reportedly danced on the line of divorce so many times, and at one point were going to announce a potential separation. However, they're all the other has, for now. We have seen how Meghan has slyly kicked Harry out of the picture for the past 5 years. Their podcast, her podcast. Their Netflix show, her Netflix show. Their business and brand, her business and brand. Special guest speakers, she's the main event and he's just watching her. And the only time he's really on a stage, she's not there to support him or cheer him on. She just sends him off like her errand boy back to the UK to complain about a security case from the 90s. Literally. And when she does show up to support him, like at the ESPYs or the Invictus Games, she can't help but make herself the center of attention, whether it's clinging to him as he's trying to accept an award, or going overboard with the PDA at a veterans event. It's always about her. It's sad to see. Will Harry ever wake up and get fed up? Or is he just waiting for Meghan to get what she needs and dip? Now, it's suspected that they might go bankrupt because their deal with Netflix is dead, and who knows how much Meghan is really making from ads ever. One insider told Radar Online, Meghan and Harry rely on this deal to sustain upkeep on their $29 million mansion and their huge range of staff. Without it, and without massively curbing their spending, they could be headed for bankruptcy. Their 9-bedroom, 16-bathroom home in Montecito carries an annual mortgage estimated at $400,000, with additional staffing costs of $230,000. Security, which Harry deems essential due to his military service, reportedly costs around $4 million annually. So because of this newly added strain atop what we could only assume were multiple strains, insiders predict that this could spark their divorce announcement. Now, Meghan has been oddly quiet for the remainder of July after the 4th, while there are blind items suggesting that Meghan has been seen a little too cozy with someone who's not Harry. I don't know how true that is, as I feel like Meghan wouldn't be out in public cheating, but this brings up an interesting point. Harry's secret trip and damage control. Where is Meghan after months of being pushed into our face, and why has Harry quietly disappeared to Botswana? No one's really talking about it, but according to reports, Harry traveled to Botswana after starting his trip in Angola, where he was highlighting the work of the Halo Trust, a charity focused on clearing landmines and other explosives from battle zones. Hello Magazine wrote, "It is believed that during his most recent visit, Prince Harry called in on someone he considers a mother figure, filmmaker Tanya T.J. Jenkins, whom he calls Mom." Tanya and her husband, Mike Holding, played an important role in Harry's life for many years after they met in Botswana when Harry was dating Chelsea Davy, with Harry documenting their first meeting in the pages of Spare. Now, Harry's secret trip to Botswana to see his second mother, without Meghan or the kids, stands out, especially coming from someone who's always preferred to keep his time away from them at a minimum. For the king's coronation, he flew in and out the same day. When his father was diagnosed with cancer, he made a quick bedside visit and left. According to the Daily Mail, Harry went off-grid and wasn't able to be contacted for 3 days during his week-long visit to Africa. So this longer, quieter escape feels different, almost like when a burned-out artist retreats to their hometown to reconnect with their roots in the middle of a personal crisis. So what is that personal crisis? Well, shortly after reports surfaced about Harry being away from his family for an extended period, boom, Meghan and Harry made their first public appearance in a while. And where was it? At the beach, of course, supporting Archie during his surfing lessons. Archie was seen rolling around in the sand while his surf group was standing behind him. All in all, the kids seemed to be having a great time. Now, as we know, Harry's been keeping himself busy by taking surf lessons and embracing the California lifestyle because there's not much left for him to do. It's not like he's working. In the meantime, and before this little beach outing, Meghan had also kept her PR team busy by running stories daily, milking whatever royal information they could, such as this People magazine article reflecting on an old birthday message to Meghan posted on her blog 11 years ago and how that hinted at her royal future. They're really grasping at straws. On the other hand, Harry is reportedly begging to be taken back by his family. One source told Radar Online that the feeling is that the Sussexes are on the grift again and have their begging bowl out to King Charles to save them. They really are like a pair of con artists, and not very good ones. Royal expert Norman Baker said their options are shrinking. They've done the big hits, the podcast, the book. There is nothing else to sell apart from themselves. When Harry took his solo trip where he planned to recreate his mother's iconic photo where she walked through a landmine field in 1997, it was said that he won't let his wife go to England over security concerns, so there was no chance he'd allow her to go to Angola to walk across landmines.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious because she went to both Nigeria and Colombia, and what does security have to do with walking across landmines? Oh no, you got a buff bodybuilder, suddenly that's enough to handle the blow? Like, what? It's sad that Harry has ruined his credibility so much that no one was even talking about his trip to Angola, and Meghan wasn't there to make a mockery of it. That's the only pro about Meghan being there. She makes such a fool out of herself that it forces everyone to talk about something. Either way, no one is focusing on the charitable cause at hand. However, the trip comes in the wake of a very interesting development. A secret peace summit held just a week before Harry's trip with Harry's top 2 aides and King Charles's head of communications in central London. Yup. The Sussex PR machine quietly crept back into royal territory. On July 9, 2025, Harry's most senior staff, Meredith Maines, his chief communications officer and head of household, along with Liam Maguire, who handles his UK public relations, met with the King's communications secretary, Tobin Andre. And this wasn't some casual coffee chat. The meeting took place at the Royal Overseas League, a private members club just around the corner from Clarence House, aka the King's official residence. Now, People magazine is trying to spin this as a potential first step toward reconciliation. But let's be real, some palace sources aren't buying the fairy tale narrative just yet. They're downplaying it, calling it a professional exchange between calm staff. Okay, but it also just so happens to be the first time that Maines and Maguire have ever met with Charles's top guy. Doesn't sound that casual. While all this is going on, King Charles's former butler, Grant Harold, also said that Harry will be quite keen to give his children a British education. I feel like this little game between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family won't rest until they somehow involve their kids in it. Also, Meghan's birthday rolled around and all her little friends hilariously posted some tribute post for her that seems to have been pre-approved by Meghan herself in advance, because tell me how these 3 different posts all have the phrase love and light in them. And to make matters even funnier, she posted a happy birthday message to herself from As Ever, writing, "Celebrating the woman behind it all. She pours her heart, vision, and magic touch into every detail. And today, we raise a glass to her. Happy birthday to our founder, Meghan." Woman behind it all. Magic touch. She cracks me up. And a special shout out to Jamie Kern-Lima's birthday message to Meghan, because God knows she did us a favor by publishing the comedy show she calls a podcast. She continues the comedy, writing, "Can't wait to see what we learn on season 2 of your show, pointing out the rainbow fruit platter, which, if you need someone to teach you how to assemble the simplest arrangement of fruits, then I don't know what to tell you." Jamie must have run out of much to say since she repeated the phrase, "Thank you for being love, light," and insert a different continuation of the sentence here twice in her story. Anyway, that's enough Meghan for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Shout out to the live fam who's watching this right now with me. Be sure to like and subscribe for new videos every week. Put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video. And follow us on our social media. And as ever, I'll see you next time.